Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and this video today is a little bit different from what I've been doing recently. It's not a cover, it's not a tutorial. It kind of is a tutorial actually. It's just not a tutorial on how to play a song. I need to change the speakers in my cabinets that I use for live use, so I thought I'd do a video on it just in case anybody needs to know how it's done. And also I thought that you guys deserved some content as I've not done anything for a while. Sorry about that. I'm slap bang in the middle of a summer season over here. For those of you who don't know, I live in Spain and I play a lot of weddings in the summer seasons. It's my main source of income, so I'm right in the middle of a long string of gigs, so I'm playing live a lot. And the equipment that I use live, my pedal board and that, is the same as I use for my videos. So when I've got a long string of gigs, I tend to leave it in the car in my garage, just locked away, so that I don't have to keep loading and unloading the car every day. But when I get a string of 3 or 4 days together, I'll unload and do a few videos for you, so that you've got some more content there to look at. But as I said, today's video is on changing these speakers in here. So we'll get stuck straight in and I'll show you how it's done. I have actually changed these speakers a couple of weeks ago, and I was going to do a video then, but I was really in a rush. But the speakers that I replaced my old ones with, my old ones were a little bit knackered, to be honest, but these ones sound awful. I'll try and remember what speakers these are, and I'll sort of leave it in the description below the video. Don't take this as gospel, by the way. They could be faulty units or whatever. Just there's something wrong with them, and I don't like the sound. I preferred the sound before. I've got a gig tomorrow, so I need to change these today. So let's get stuck in, and I'll show you how it's done. So the tools that you're going to need for this job will probably vary depending on the speakers you've got and the cabinets and all of that stuff. But I'm going to need a soldering iron, which the reason it's hanging off the side there is because it's switched on and it's very hot. A screwdriver, a pair of pliers, and obviously some solder. So I'm going to get stuck straight in. I'm going to move that over there, being very careful at the end of the soldering iron that's switched on doesn't touch anything and cause a fire, because we wouldn't want that, would we? So move everything out the way, and as you can see, the thing that's holding this grill on the front, that's the first thing that you're going to need to remove, obviously, to get to the speaker. Some speaker cabinets you might have to get to the speaker from the back, so as I say, this can vary depending on the type of cabinet that you've got. But these particular ones, and a lot of them that I've had, are accessed from the front. So just a load of screws, so remove them. So now we've got those screws removed, we're going to put them in a safe place to ensure that we're not losing any of them. Put them over there, and I'm going to use this hooky thing to remove the grill. That is actually the correct terminology for this, the hooky thing. It's not, of course, I'm joking. But so I'm going to put that in there, pull that up, so we've got rid of that. Once we take this speaker out, we're going to be able to see what make and model it is. I think it's an Eminence speaker. But obviously this isn't like a negative review against this speaker or anything. It could just be a damaged unit, or I've just put the wrong speaker in. I don't know. I did do quite a bit of research, so I think it's the right speaker. It just doesn't sound right for me. So these, annoyingly, are in there with Allen keys, but I think I've got a connector for my screwdriver that should fit. Yeah. So that's going to make life a lot easier. It's a little special, this, by the way. So it's already paid for itself just in the time it saved me doing this. I think it was about a tenner, so I'm quite pleased with that. So remove these. So now we've got all of those screws removed. We can put the screwdriver over there and the screws there. Whilst I remember, by the way, the fact that I'm putting the old speakers back into these, there was a reason that I replaced those speakers. They weren't good enough either. So I am going to have to replace these cabs. They were cheap cabs anyway. I think they were 88 euros each from Thomann in Germany. And they've done me like 4 years. So I think it's about time I replaced them with something a little bit better. But so the next thing we do is to lift the speaker out there, as you can see, making sure that we're not pulling on any wires. We can then flip it over, and you can now see that the speaker in question was the Eminence Delta 15 LFA, and that is the speaker that I replaced the old ones with. And these just, I don't know, they're just not hacking it for me. They're just not doing it. So let me just move this camera over so you can see. So you should now be able to see down here that we've got two connectors. One of them is just sort of pushed on. It's like a tab thing that pushes on. I don't know if you can see that. If I pull that, it doesn't want to move, does it? There we go. So it's just a little thing like that pushes onto this tab. This other wire did have one of those, but it was narrower so that you can only put the positive on the positive and the negative on the negative. But the speaker itself doesn't have the narrow tab, so I had to solder it on. So this is why we need the soldering iron. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of kitchen towel in here like this. In fact, what I'm going to do first is change the battery in this camera over here, because it's about to die. So just bear with me 1 second. So we know that this is hot enough because it's been on for quite a while. So literally all we're going to do is touch the soldering iron onto there, and it should start to melt. Can you see that starting to melt? Oh, and it's just dropped off there because I forgot to hold it. But yeah, you get the picture. I'm, by the way, no means an expert with a soldering iron. I think I've used one twice. So this is pretty new to me as well. But yeah, we now have removed this speaker. Okay, moving on to the next speaker. This is, as I said, the original speaker out of these cabinets, which are pretty cheap cabinets. These are unbranded. They've not even got a sticker on them or whatever, so I don't know what make they are. I think they're just Thomann's own make. But as I said before, with this little tab thing, I don't know if you can see that, that pushes onto here. As I said, the negative one is thinner. You see that that's the positive, that fits on there, and the negative one is thinner so that you can't put the wrong ones, the wrong cable on the wrong port. So, port, whatever you call it. So the positive one, we can just literally push on like that. But because I've had to cut the negative one off and solder it on to the new speakers, I'm going to have to solder it back onto here. So what I'm going to start by doing is grabbing my pliers, which is what I got the pliers for in the first place, and just squishing that down so that that should fit through here, which it doesn't, but that doesn't matter that much. What I'm going to do is just try and get that through there. And it will sort of go through. There we go. We know that that's pretty secure there. I don't even think we really need any more solder because there's plenty of solder on the cable already. I'll have a look. I'll decide once it's on there, but yeah, just touching that soldering iron onto the cable should melt the solder. Just touch it on the back. So that is on there, but I'm not happy that that's secure enough. Look, it's already moved, so I'm going to get a bit of solder and drip that on. I'm going to also put the paper underneath again, which I forgot to do. So we're going to get that back on there. solder on here. And as I said, make it a little bit more secure on there. So I reckon that's secure enough. By the way, you should be careful not to burn yourself, because the heat from that can actually travel through the cable and through the plastic as well and burn your fingers. So try not to do that. We can now switch the soldering iron off down there like that, and we can pull this out, and that should be a pretty good connection there. I'd say that that's pretty secure. I don't know about you. So what we're going to do next is just put everything back. We're just reversing all the processes before. So let me just get this camera back to how it was so that you can see what I'm doing here. So literally the reverse of what we did last time. So flip this over, being careful obviously with the cable. You don't want to pull the cable out. Drop that back in, making sure, if you can, that the holes line up, the holes in the cab line up with the holes in the speaker, which looks pretty good to me. So we need all of the screws, the second screws that we took out, the Allen key ones, and we can just drop those in with our fingers to make sure that they're lined up. And by doing this finger tight like this, what it allows us to do is to make any small movements. If any of these aren't quite lined up, we can move the speaker slightly, and it should be okay to, shouldn't be too tight to move it. But these are looking pretty good. Yep, they're looking pretty good to me. So I can grab my screwdriver, make sure it's tightening, and so there we have the speaker sat back in its cabinet. So I'm going to take that Allen key connector out of my screwdriver, my €10 Lidl special screwdriver, which I'm very happy with today. I'm going to get the grill from the front. I've always wanted to customise this grill a little bit, I've just never got round to it. But I'm not going to be doing that today because I'm sort of in a rush. I've got loads of gigs coming up, as I said before. So I just need to get this done really. So we're back on with the screwdriver, and we need all our screws back as well. All those. I'm going to blast those back into place. So there you have it. It's back to how it was in the first place. It's a bit of a shame that the speakers that I bought just weren't doing the trick, but as I said, it might not be their fault. I don't know, maybe they're just faulty units or... I'm actually editing the video now. I thought I'd do a quick update because I've since gigged with these speakers, having replaced the new speakers with the original ones, and it turns out that it's not actually the Eminence Delta's fault. I think my mixing desk has packed up after many years of gigging. I play on quite a few beaches, so to be fair, the salt water's probably just got in there and finally ruined the desk, so I'm going to have to replace the desk, and I'll probably just get an all-in-one PA anyway. But I just thought I'd do a quick update as I was just editing the video, and thought I'd let you know how I got on with it. So, but this video is getting pretty long, so I'm going to get straight back into it now. So, but yeah, just thought I'd let you know that. Wrong for these cabs or whatever, I don't know. I'm going to try and send them back. If Townsend will have them back and let me have my money back, then it's time that I upgraded these anyway. So I'll probably go with something on the lines of, I don't know, Electro Voice maybe, or I might even go for, I don't know yet, I'm not decided, but I'll have a look. I'll keep you posted. If you want to, you can follow me on Twitter, and I'll let you know on there, just because when I get new stuff I usually post on Twitter. So you can follow me there at Tweed Nelson if you haven't already, and you'll see all the updates on this. I'll try and keep you posted here on the channel as well anyway about how these get on. I'm sort of a little bit sceptical. I don't know how they're going to sound with these old speakers back in. You'd think they'd sound the same, but I don't know. I'm hoping that they sound okay, because, you know, if people are paying me to do a job, I want to sound as good as possible, which is why I use 15-inch speakers instead of 12-inch speakers for that added bass response when I hit the bridge of the guitar. These speakers have always sounded brilliant for that. But I think if I upgraded to Electro Voice or something like that, it would just be killer. So that's pretty much all for this video anyway. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you thought it was good. Subscribe if you haven't already. My subscriber base is growing massively, actually, considering that the content that I'm making is a little bit sort of few and far between. As I said before, it's purely just because I'm so busy with gigs at the moment. I've got a stretch of 9 in a row coming up next week. As I said before, I'm gigging tomorrow. Then I've got a couple of days off. Then I'm doing like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then I've got the Thursday off, and then I've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday again. It's just crazy at the moment. But hopefully I'll be back soon with some more covers and some more guitar tutorials. As soon as I've got 2 or 3 consecutive days off, I'll grab the stuff out of the car and set the looper up and all that, and do some more videos. So I've had loads of requests for, obviously Ed Sheeran stuff is really popular. Particularly people are asking for You Need Me, I Don't Need You. My rap skills are terrible, by the way, but I will try to get the loop stuff in a video for you, because it's quite straightforward actually, because at the time when Ed started to play that song, he only had a Boss RC20, which was a single channel loop station, so it's not like there's any channel switching to do or anything, so should be pretty straightforward. I'll try and get onto that. Somebody asked for Barcelona as well, which I'll try and do that. They did ask for the breathing beatbox thing at the bottom, at the beginning. I tried that the other week, and I can't breathe that fast, so I'll have a go, but it might be a little bit difficult for me, just because I'm not Ed Sheeran. But yeah, I'm waffling again, as I always do. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go, so take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.